Back here today in Scriba, part 2 with Andy Noto. He's right there. How we doing, Andy?
Awesome.
His car is ready to go. So what a lot of times people will do at this time, because it's still February, Valentine's Day was just a couple of days ago, it's time to make some spare parts. So what are we making today, Andy?
So today I've been working on building spare radius rods.
Okay.
Everything else is finished. The car's been scaled. The car's been squared. So I'm at the point right now where it's time to put spare parts together. Okay. So my theory with that is if you don't have it in the trailer, you're going to need it. If I put it in the trailer, maybe I'll never need it. So let's get it done.
All right. So which radius rod is
so
this?
Right now, so I run the intermediate rod on the right-hand side. I'm not on a short rod. It's intermediate rod. Some guys like the short rod. I think the car's too twitchy, but this is what I'm at with that right now. I do have the bracket to go to short rod if I want to. So we're gonna build a rod. Okay. So I got everything loose underneath here already.
I'm gonna go back behind you here so we can see what you're doing.
Maybe I got everything loose.
Maybe.
Pull that out. Remember where all your shims go.
Oh, your what goes?
Your shims.
Okay.
Can you say shim? Take it off the bottom.
Let's try over here and see how that looks.
So
okay, so this is off now.
Yeah, we're off. You know where everything went?
That's where it bolted on right there.
Yep.
And that's the other end where everything went. So, okay. So now he's got this handy dandy tool that he made.
So I got this handy dandy little radius rod tool, which I love. I've seen some different versions of it where guys have made their own deal, and I'm a matter of convenience guy, so I bought one. So you can get this from Bicknell. There's the part number 9362. My little Bicknell plug. How's that sound?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Basically what it is you can set 1/2 inch or 5/8 heims in here, depending on which ones you got, or vice versa. If you have a 5/8 on one end or a 1/2 inch on one end, it'll work with both. It's got a measurement on here, so we're taking the radius rod that was on the car, right? Setting it on, and this will give you a center of heim to center of heim measurement, and it's got this handy dandy little lockdown deal, which makes it really slick for doing spare parts. So whatever the measurement is here, it's going to be 20, no, I don't know, call it 28 3/4, something like that.
From center heim to center heim.
Yep.
Okay.
So I already have the other radius rod marked, right rear intermediate rod.
Oh yeah, okay.
Set this on here. Make sure you loosen. Little tech tip here when you're doing your radius rods, make sure you use a little bit of never seize.
Yeah, see how he's turning that, and that is moving the heim closer or farther away, making it longer or shorter.
Yeah. So I might be out of this one. I might be out of thread.
Is it gonna get there?
Yeah, it will.
Okay. A couple more turns. It's almost there. There it is.
Yep, there it is.
And then we lock it down, so we'll tighten there, and you'll tighten
We'll
at this end too.
Lock it down, tighten there. 15/16. Obviously, when you get it on the car, you're going to.
Oh, those are different sizes?
No, they're the same. They're the same size. It's
Okay.
just you got to get your heim timing right. And I didn't bring out a big wrench. I don't think a. So normally you'd put a big crescent wrench on here and then tighten that heim down, but it doesn't matter. We could put it on the car and tighten it down that way. Okay. So when they talk about heim timing, making sure that both heims are in sequence with each other, right?
And we want it loose,
so if
right?
you have one way and one the other way, what it's going to do is it's going to bind. So basically this is all set. Sometimes I put this in a vise, so then you can really reef down on your jam nuts to get them tight.
Now, since we've got the opportunity here, these heim joints are something maybe that a lot of people who aren't into racing, and that's what this is right here. See how it moves like that. What's the advantage? Why are we using those instead of just bolting it right to the car?
So we're using this, it's like an alignment heim, right? So you can have stuff out of misalignment and it keeps everything from binding.
Or breaking.
Or breaking, you know, like if you get a bind. So that's why having the heims timed correctly is critical. So let's say we'll take this rear panhard one, right, that I haven't made up yet. So if you got your heims turned where they're turned like this, they're straight, but one heim's going that way and one heim's going that way, it's not gonna, and it's gonna bind. And you're gonna have a bind in the rear of the car or wherever it is positioned on the car.
So when we talk binds, it's always a heim joint in most cases, where they're
It
bound
could
up.
be heim joint. It could be the slider biscuit on the rear end. There's a bunch of different stuff. Anything that has motion, right? You want to make sure it's working free.
And
Shocks
like for
making
here,
sure- right? So like on the front,
we want to make sure this moves, right? We want to make sure this isn't bound up. See what I mean? See how
correct,
this
right.
turns here.
So on the front, like guys are racing, you'll see guys bump, and something will happen, and the shock slider will come back, and then the spring will be binding on the axle. So
It'll
very-
actually hit the axle. We
Yeah,
don't have much room there, do we?
It'll roll back. So it's very critical that you have.
So it actually rolls from here. It almost turns that like that,
Yep,
basically.
it'll turn like that.
All right, and then that's a bind there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see a lot of guys now that are running the clamps on the top. So if something happens here, the shot comes loose, it's not going to come off and let the car slam down to the ground. So that's why we run these on here.
Okay. It used to be if we broke off a shock tower, that's this piece right here, by the
Yeah.
way, it was a major deal. Now it's not so big, is it?
Well, so what I've found is I like watching a lot of guys in-car camera video. And what I found is the guys that have the bolt-in shock towers, they seem like they flex a lot.
Do they?
Like you watch the slow-mo
So
stuff.
these are
they
welded
flex.
towers?
Yeah, mine are solid.
Okay.
Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but that's what I go with.
I guess I didn't know anybody was still doing the solid shock
Yeah,
towers
these are solid,
anymore.
right.
So it is still, you're going to need some welding.
Oh yeah,
Not
so
something
if you
we're gonna
knock the
fix at
shock
track.
tower off on this, you're usually, you're fixing the part that goes down into the front clip.
Something we can fix at the track or no?
So, well, I mean,
we
I
want
guess if
to.
you had a welder, yeah, sure.
But then you probably want to bring it back and double check that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I did see, like, the guys, when they went to Bristol to race, they were actually making a bridge between the shock towers because there was so much lateral force on the front end of
Is
the
that
car.
where we put the piece that goes
Yeah, it
between
goes
both
in here.
towers?
So, like, you ever see, like, on the Mustangs and all the drag stuff,
Yes,
they put
yes.
A bridge shock tower on there to stiffen,
Yeah, to
chassis.
prevent it from flexing.
Yeah,
quite so much, right?
Yep.
Okay.
prevent everything from flexing.
So I hope you guys
And
learn.
These still will flex, but they're not as much as what the bolt-in ones are.
Okay, so we just drill a little and tap that from the top and get a piece and put it in, almost like
No,
almost like an NI
if I was
bar,
going to
right?
build one, if I needed one, I would have the clamps. So
Oh,
a lot of the
okay.
guys run the weights on the back, and then they got that bar they can twist and lengthen
Yes.
and shorten. I put it in here and just put it on heims.
Okay.
So then you can lengthen and shorten it if
Very
you're going
nice.
to run it. But I
Not this year.
knock on wood, I haven't had to.
All right. Hope you guys learned
Replace
something
the
here.
shock
And again, I forgot about heims because most street cars don't have heim joints anywhere on them. So or do they?
Probably like upper A-frame stuff.
That's true. That'd probably be about
On the
it.
frame.
So hope you guys learned something. Andy, thanks for
You got it.
giving us
Thank
some
you.
good information. Okay,
Yeah,
hit the blue E down there. Subscribe. We're getting close to 2,000 guys. So help us reach that goal. Thanks, man.
Thanks.